Hello, guys. Excuse me, need to grab a little cup of water. But this is a video that I've been wanting to do. People ask me all the time how to grade coins, and I don't know why I have to ask or answer the question on a case-by-case basis because it comes up so frequently. I would be surprised if I get maybe a dozen inquiries a week, just based off of the volume of subscribers and other people watching these coin videos that I do. And I think it's time that I actually did one. So I actually compiled a list of stuff that we'll talk about, and we'll find out why should you grade coins through grading companies such as PCGS, NGC, Annex. What does one grading company do better over the others? And we'll talk about that. This is going to be a long video, so I want to let you guys know. Expect a 13-15 minute video. So grab a cup of coffee and relax and enjoy. And we're going to talk about how you get started. Okay, first and foremost, why do you grade coins? That's a great question I get all the time. You have a big inheritance. You don't know what to do with it. You want to maximize the amount of money that you get for the coins that are in the collection that's been passed to you without feeling like you're going to get your head ripped off, so to speak, which is very easy to do. You go to you either sell a private party to the wrong person, or you go to the wrong dealer who all he cares about is keeping the lights on and the bottom line and making extra money at your expense. Okay, so you want to keep all of these things in mind when you decide you want to grade your coins. Okay, and a couple minor bullet points, and so that way we're not looking at just a table on a wall. All right. Here's a great example. This is a 65 special mint set. Washington quarter in a PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service is the acronym, SP67. A pretty nice high grade, but it's not a high dollar coin in this grade because it's so common. But why should you grade coins? Number one, authenticity against fakes. All right, so there are some really hot, popular type coins. For example, a Lincoln Wheat 1909 SVDB is a commonly faked example in today's numismatics. Another one is the 16D Mercury dime. People are actually starting to fake gold coins. Especially the early gold, so any like the turban head, the coronets, some of the popular Charlotte specimens are beginning to come up fake. So unscrupulous individuals are going to extraordinary lengths to fake anything short of the silver American Eagle, which they're doing, by the way. Excuse me. So you want to authenticate your coins against the fakes that are out in the marketplace. So when you have something that's authenticated, and you have like the hologram, and then you have the QR code and all that, and the barcode, and then the grading number, those all help you as either a collector or a seller to maximize the amount of money, and it protects you against the many multitude of fakes out there. Another bullet point of why you should grade is more money, more value to you. So a coin that's graded will net you a lot more money when you go to liquidate your collection. Okay, so that's important to know. And the final bullet point, when you have graded coins, it is certainly easier to liquidate in today's what I call digital-based commerce society. So a lot of people would think, hey, I'm just going to go to the local, coin shop or a coin show coming into town, and that's all well and good, but you're limiting your opportunity to make the most money from your collection. There are a lot of very trustworthy online dealers. So what I mean is the digital-based commerce society, everything that's online is at your disposal. And these folks, they buy and sell and trade coins and bullion all the time. Some of the most well-known websites that I've dealt with personally, the Penny Lady, who deals specifically with pennies, East Coast Coin, LNC Coin, Angel D's. There's a whole bunch of them out there, and usually they'll specialize in one type of coin series over the other. You know, there's Tom Reynolds, for example, deals with large cents. So if you have some of the most beautiful premier types of large cents, he's definitely the man to talk to. And all of his information is online, by the way. So that covers why you should grade coins. It's pretty standard, pretty self-explanatory from what I've talked about. Now let's talk about what types of coins should you grade. Okay, this is probably a bad example because it's such a common coin in this state and this grade. For the special mint set piece, you're talking about $30. But let's go to something that's on the opposite side of the spectrum. That's a little bit more extreme, but not obvious. I just got this back the other day. It's a 63D Lincoln Memorial cent. Well, hey now, this is common coin right here. This you probably have 50 of these in your piggy bank as we speak. However, this is a coin I would grade that I would grade unequivocally in a high grade. So in this case, this is a PCGS Mid-State 66 red. PCGS price guide for this coin is $210. If you look at Heritage Auctions, for example, at this coin, previous auction sales have come up somewhere in $250 range. So as far as the type of coins you should grade, registry coins, which is what this one would fall under categorically. Any sort of rarities. So your 1804 Drake Bust dollar, for example, is one I would not hesitate to get graded, along with some of the 1896 Barber Dime or whatever that's so expensive that's been in the news lately. The 1943 copper cents would be another great example, and anything in between. I would say anything with a value of $200 or more. Okay, and then you could get an idea of how much your coins ballpark, because theoretically you would not use like a red book to determine the price of a coin, because it's an antiquated way of determining value. Everything is digital based this day and age, so everything's online. You got your auction houses online, like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, great collections is another great example, and even eBay. So any sort of rarities, low mintage stuff, and condition sensitive coins. For example, this one, because it's a $210 coin in a 66 red for a 63D. The 65 is only worth about $20. So you see the huge price swing between a 65 red and a 66. So any sort of condition sensitive coins would fall under the why should you grade period. By the way, a 66 with a plus symbol for this same date, you're talking about a $2,000 coin. And there are no 67s in existence for a 63D. You believe it or not? I kind of find it hard to believe until you look at the registry and find that there's not a thing for a 67 in PCGS. So that covers the type of coins you should grade. Okay, now let's talk about how to grade. That's the big question. There are two ways to grade. You go on PCGS.com or NGC.com or Annex.com, and you sign up, you do the membership. Okay, it's all annual, you know, so you sign up for a full year. I always go for the gold. There's 3 different tiers for PCGS. So you got silver, gold, platinum. So depending on what you pick, you know, you get little special bonuses and whatnot. So I always do the gold every year. So you can either do this online, or they send you a triplicate carbon form They send you a number of them, in fact, to get started. And they have the pricing tiers of how much your coins will cost to get graded per each. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you grade coins, unless you have a high dollar item, you always want to send a batch. So you send a pack of 10 coins that you want to get graded. Never in your wildest dreams would you ever think of sending one of these, spending $32 plus another $35 for shipping. It's not going to make any sense, if you intend on trying to profit and make money and flip these things, because that's not how it works. So you have it's 4 pages, but 3 of it's carbon, but you have the overall instructions on how to get started, and you have the pricing tiers. So you could send coins out, like for example this walkthrough. The turnaround time's 2 days. Maximum coin value, $100,000, and it's $125. It's not cheap when you want to get it right away, and if it's a high dollar item, but it's worth it if you have a high dollar coin. Typically, for all of my coins, I do the regular. I think I've only had to do Express once because I was trying to get something graded and added to a heritage auction. But I do the regular 15-day turnaround, which is actually surprisingly quick. $32 per coin. Okay, so if you my last batch, I sent 6 coins out, and it turned out to be $172, and then my total order was just a shade over 200 by the time you figured in shipping. So you fill this out. Let me show you the first page of the form, and this can all be duplicated online. You could do the online ordering, and then you print out the form and you add it to your order when you send it out. So you start out with your name, address, your member number and name up here, and then you just fill out each box. Okay, and then you go in order. You fill in all the information about your coin, denomination, country, right? You could send world coins, tokens, you name it, Civil War tokens, U.S. coins, so-called dollars. They'll take it all, and so can NGC. In fact, NGC I would use for like Civil War tokens, because they're, I don't know, they do it all over there. Declared value. You can even do a crossover. So if you have a slab like this and you thought that it was undergraded, this is a 66, maybe you thought it was a 66 plus, you could also send this coin and its slab back to PCGS for a reconsideration. So you fill all this out. There's 3 copies of pink, white, and gold. You keep the gold, you send out the other 2 copies. The front copy with the price plan you keep. So you're going to send back the white and the pink copies. So you send it registered mail. You're covered up to, I believe, $50,000. Okay, you pay X amount of dollars. In my case, I spent $20 to ship this thing out, my last batch. So it's actually not bad. You package the coins such as like this in these kind of like polymylar 2x2 flips. So it's double-sided. You would put a little sticker with the registration number and then the line item. So this would be line number 1 on that form, and then you would put number 1 along with the submission number. So you have those, you batch them all up, you get them all nice and packed into a kind of like a thin bubble mailer, nothing too thick, because when you take it to the post office, they're going to make you put it into a cardboard envelope, and then they have to seal it with the tape to make sure that it doesn't get tampered with. So, so you filled out the paper form, yada. You've packaged the coins up, you put the little sticky on the back of the 2x2, and you've sent this sucker registered mail, so you'll have a tracking number as well. So what's next? What do you expect? Okay, you're going to get your order back in approximately maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Okay, depending on your order, you might get just 1 coin or 2 coins back in a package. Multiple coins, they'll give you this snazzy PCGS plastic case with all of your coins just kind of in a row in there, which is nice. And from that point, okay, you can make whatever decision you want to do about getting this liquidated, sold, consign it to an auction house. It makes for easier inheritance planning. Okay, so for your older folks out there that have this collection and you don't know what to do with it, and you don't want to deal with putting together a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, for your friends and family or whoever's taking over your estate. It makes it real easy when you have these. Okay, you just, hey, here's my collection. You could sell it. Here's a business card to a consignor at Heritage, for example. Send it out. Easy peasy. If you intend on selling to a local dealer in your area, you want to make sure that they are part of a grading network, like they're part of NGC, PCGS. You don't want to deal with a dealer that does all raw stuff, because he's not going to give you the money that you're going to expect for these coins. That's not very good. So you want to make sure you're dealing with a dealer that knows specifically what they're dealing with, and they'll help you move all of your items, okay? Like me, I would just probably deal with any one of the established dealers online. Because if they have an online presence, obviously they can afford the web hosting to get it up, and they can afford, buying some pieces from your collection. So that's how you grade in kind of a quick 15-16 minute episode. If I miss anything, or if you have questions, please send me a message, or just simply comment below if you want the forum of other members and interested parties to know how to do this, that, and those. Thanks again for your guys' time, and I'm glad you're able to spend a few minutes with me. And again, please don't hesitate to give me a shout out about anything that you may have. All right, you guys have a fantastic evening.